Johnny Thunder's guitar. Look at this. Look at this stuff.
Mystery trainer in the corner. A 2, 3, 4.
Hey, Walter, you want to join the band? I go, what band? And he goes, oh, me and Richard, Hal, and Jerry are starting the band, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going like, let me think about it. No, it was like, yeah, let me know what you want me to do.
Somebody call me on the phone. Hey, hey,
They were a really, really great rock and roll band.
You know, this is a band that didn't tour that much, that did their time, and I think the record is the testament that shows that these songs hold on.
You know, there's moments throughout all those performances where everything just fits together perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, shit, it's a quintessential fucking record to my life.
Yeah, we're just playing rock and roll music, man. You know, we call it punk if you want, but that's what it came down to.
Hey vinyl community, Steve here, FlipSideCT, and I got a couple vinyl finds to show, not a lot. I also got a book that I'm going to show, and I do want to mention, if you're in this area, and let's just say Fairfield County, New Haven, maybe up in Hartford even, or wherever, Boston, there's a great show this coming Saturday, which is March 3rd, 2018. So if you're watching this after, just disregard this. WPKN, I've showed video footage of this. It's in Bridgeport, Connecticut, in this old retail building. Really cool. One of the better shows around. You get in there early, you spend a few bucks, but you really get some good finds, but some people from all over the area. If you can get there, check it out, WPKN. You can look that up in Bridgeport this Saturday, the 3rd. Anyway, had to mention that. A lot of shows are coming up, and I know a lot of people are doing some tours, and I might have to do that again and bring the video to show some of the shows that I go to. There's so many VC members now. I guess you got to recycle some of your videos and start showing things. I'm not having luck at stores. I don't know about you. Well, I see a few videos where people are finding things, but just forget the Goodwills, the charity shops, anything like that. Forget it. Even the stores, it's all timing. You can get new albums, of course. I'm just looking for those, you know, those originals, if I can. You know, of course, 70s, 60s, whatever. But forget it. I went into a store the other week. Nothing. 2 weeks in a row, nothing. And I had to brag to my wife too about that. I was proud of it. So anyway, I had to mention that. I'll take some video footage of my show coming up. So I got a book, and I've been wanting to get this book. As you can see, it's pretty thick, and the name of it is All the Songs, the Story Behind Every Track. So, I mean, how many bands do you know that can put this type of book size out? So yeah, it's the Rolling Stones. This came out just recently, and here's the cover. It's a few bucks. I think I paid about $25, maybe through eBay, or Amazon probably. But this is a really cool book. It's, you know, it's for definitely the geek of the Stones. It talks and lists every album, gives you some more stories. It says in your headphones, a little blurb here. So I'm looking at Midnight Rambler. And like, here's a little thing. During the very first seconds of the track, just before Keith launches into his riff, it's possible to hear what are probably the final syllables of an instruction to begin the take, spoken by the talkback mic from Jimmy Miller or Glenn Johns. So little things there. There's one, I think it's Heart of Stone, like they talk about. You could hear Charlie Watts' squeaky foot pedal. Listen to this track at about 1:01. You'll hear Bill Wyman screw up and play the wrong notes. So it's got little things like that. Things, you know, it says like the Stones Attic, little thing here. Well, they say that they've been playing Midnight Rambler since '69. Just little tips, but it tells you everybody who played. There's some question marks because nobody is real sure. Probably Wyman is the one that really has the detailed information. But it talks about the genesis of the song, a lot of information about how it came about, and the production. You know, they used this, they used that on it. Really, really cool things in here for me that I enjoy. I know a few of you out there would enjoy this. You know, like you got the silver. You know, most of you know about the Keith has a version, but Mick has an alternate version also. I knew that, but it mentions it here. So it goes all the way through, you know, to the, I guess, till the end, to the current licks, Bigger Bang. Anyway, enough of this. Oh, I haven't finished this. No, I'm just reading tidbits. I put the stereo an album on, and I'll just read as each song's coming on. So it's just sort of fun for me. That's the geek things I do. All right, so here's just a few albums, just 4. Here's a band. I am not telling you anything new. I'm late to the party, and I know many people have shown this album and some of their other albums, but this is the Chameleons, Script of the Bridge. So I had to get the reissue. This is 1,000 copies numbered, 2 180 gram, came with a CD. So, I mean, many of you know about the band, the Chameleons, and a post-punk band, you know, a dreamy sound from the greater Manchester area, and there's just something magical about the Liverpool, the Manchester, you know, from the late 80s, the late 70s, early 80s. There's just something so good about those sounds that I love, and just those bands. It's a real large sound, and it's all around greatness. Their records, probably most of them, very vocal in the melodies. You know, the guitars are just kick-ass post-punk 80s, just cool. You know, they're in that Echo and the Bunnymen, the Sound, Joy Division genre, and like I said, there's a lot of vinyl community people who show this and know about it, and just to understand those who don't, you know, they really contributed a lot to that time period in the post-punk, but they don't get the recognition. One of those. I'm proud I own this. I just love it. I'm probably getting the other ones, but they were formed in '81. The lead guy is Burgess, Mark Burgess, still rock and rolling today. You could see him jam out and perform. He has another band called Chameleons Vox, I believe, and they're just as good. There's a clip with Derek Higgins, and he talks about this band also, and he jams with Mark Burgess, playing bass and really grooving into it, and it was pretty cool to see. I watched it, and you could see just the how proud Derek was to be on a stage with him, and what an honor. He was very humble about it. But he's an icon, Burgess, and you know, they ran into label distribution problems, and it sort of hampered them to get on further and be, you know, the big success. So that's really what downfall was. Some of it out of their control. You know, label and distributions just could be a nightmare. So the first 3 albums are wonderful, and even the 4th and 5th, which are from the 90s, are just as sweet. But like I said, he's cranking, and he's really jamming out now. Chameleon's Box. If you're into that post-punk, gotta listen to this, and you'll probably want to buy it. Here's another post-punk album, not as much known, and they're from Liverpool, Modern Eon. This is an album I got it shipped from England, but this is another, again, a post-punk 80s band, and it's not an album that you're gonna like immediately. It's very weird. It's like a Joy Division, New Order, Cosmat Angels sound, again, the Chameleons. It's in that realm. It has some 80s drum sound, which is kind of cheesy, but I think the production could have been much better on this band, and it could have been really, really done wonders. The vocals are just, and the guitars are too far back. But if you give this a listen, you'll hear what I mean. But still, I think this is just a post-punk band just to have for my collection. I really enjoy. A little disappointed with the sound though. Okay, so one of my favorites for the blues, Buddy Guy, John Lee Hooker. I paid a little too much for this. You can get this, I know Tim Allen talks about import CDs for about $10 now. If you're into the blues and you want to get into someone great, his early albums are being reissued for $10. I might be getting some more, and it's just greatness. And you know, he was in Detroit at this time when he put out this. This is actually songs from 51 to 54, and he was in Detroit, and Chess gobbled them up. They just, you know, they knew if they wanted them. So these cuts are from that time period, and it's just pureness of blues. You know, it's one of those things where you hear the foot stomping on the floor, the plywood floor. They did some overdub on this, and they doubled his voice, and they put reverb on it. 1 or 2 songs are just poorly redone. The ones that were redone, but otherwise the other ones are great. Look into some of his reissues if you're getting into the blues. Johnny Lee Hooker is just, you know, right in there with the rest of them. That voice, that powerful voice, and the guitar. So this next band, I've been getting into this mod revival. I've been listening, trying to figure a few things out, and I had an opportunity to listen to this band, and I said, I just love their sound. This is Aunt Nellie, Shades of Orange, came out in 2013. Like it's an R&B mod revival. Northern Soul. They're from, geez, where are they from? Maidstone and Sevenoaks, England, I believe. So that's southeast of London. I think a little west of Canterbury. I don't know all my geography there, but that's where they're from. They've been around. In the 90s, there was a band called The Click. But they came back and made this band, and they have a few albums. They have a 2016 album, but this is just, it's garage, it's psychish, mod, and a lot of that Northern Soul. But they were founded in 2010, this band. They're an older crowd, not the younger for being one of these mod revival bands, but what do you call it? The Northern Side? I don't know. You figure it out. You tell me. This is just a cool record, cool sound. They have 2 covers in here, and I don't like covers. Very seldom, I should say. But I really enjoyed Satisfaction and Purple Haze on here. They really did a great job. This is Aunt Nellie. Give them a listen, and you'll be happy. That's all I got. Yeah, so I'm gonna check out this show, and really excited. I've been on a dry spell. It's been a while. These are albums that I've gotten several weeks ago. So, all right, VC, good talking with you, and I will be seeing you hopefully 2 weeks time frame. Bye bye.